Okay, let's start. Good morning, everyone, and maybe good afternoon, good evening for people around the world. Thank you for joining for this webinar today from Global AI to Local Impact, Data-Driven Decisions for Saudi Arabia and UAE. I'm really pleased to welcome Abdullah. Hi,
Thank you, Mr.
Abdullah.
Ban.
Abdullah is working as a traffic and transportation engineer with THTC. And Abdullah will join me today in this webinar, which will be all about making sure that all the global AI that we are doing can make an impact in the local region. So thank you for that, Abdullah.
You're welcome.
Um, some housekeeping. We will be taking questions, but we will answer them at the end of the webinar. So please put them in the Q&A. There is a Q&A box somewhere in Zoom that you can use for that. We will also be recording the webinar. So if you cannot follow the webinar in full, don't worry, you can still tune in later after the session has been completed. So let me introduce THTC and Abdullah Al-Khalaf. We are, since a couple months, a partner in the region. And Abdullah works there as a traffic and transportation engineer. He has a lot of experience in traffic analytics, both real-time and historical. He has worked on many projects, among others for the Royal Commission for Riyadh City. He has worked for Boston Consulting Group and also for Development Authority Support Center. He's an expert in traffic APIs, probe data analysis, origin destination studies, and also advanced tooling with different tools on the market, including xyzt.ai. Abdullah holds a bachelor's degree in transportation and traffic engineering. So welcome, Abdullah.
Thank you, Mr. Bart, for the introduction.
Okay, and me, myself, I'm Bart Adams. I'm one of the founders and CTO of xyzt.ai, and we will be introducing both companies as well. So with that, let's dive in with some statistics that we like to do. For those of you who know the region, and if you know the old world in Europe and US, you know that it's quite a different world. Only looking at Dubai, over the past 4 decades, about 18,000 kilometers of roads have been constructed. So you can see how dynamic that environment is. If you look at Saudi Arabia, at Riyadh, for instance, one of the main roads through the city, King Fahd Road, it now operates at about 300% of intended capacity. So you see that's 3 times more traffic than what the road was meant to carry originally. So there are a lot of challenges in the region that are very specific and that we don't really know and understand in different areas of the world. Abdullah, can you maybe highlight them?
Yeah, yes, sure. Thank you, Bart, and good morning, everybody. There is a lot of challenges in the GCC countries, which is obvious. The congestion, even many, especially in the big cities, there is a high demand. The companies are investing in the cities, so the congestion and the need of bigger roads, maybe it's this is the first challenge, and of course the infrastructure. A lot of new roads, a lot of projects that need some roadworks, which affect the traffic. And of course, the mega events ahead, Riyadh Expo 2030, World Cup 2034, will need more planning, more traffic optimization.
Mhm. There are also some other challenges.
Yes, and the coordination between multiple authorities, and of course, lack of national traffic data provider. All the traffic data comes from outside. There is no local or national traffic data provider.
Okay.
And I will let Mr. Bart complete the agenda.
Okay, thank you, Abdullah. And we will
Yeah.
get back to those challenges later on. as well with some solutions and some thoughts around them. So for today, having set the scene and the context, we will introduce both companies very briefly. We also like to make our webinars interactive, so we're going to do some poll questions. Feel free to participate. Of course, it's highly valued if you can. After the first poll question, we dive deep into the xyzt.ai platform, but don't worry, I will keep it high level with some demonstrations of some local analysis. We do a second poll question then, and after that, I will hand over again to Abdullah to talk about THTC's expertise combined with xyzt.ai. And before going into the takeaways and the questions, there's a final poll question. And at that point in time, we're about, I would say, 25 minutes in the webinar. We will answer your questions. So please, again, put them in the Q&A box should you have any questions. So first, xyzt.ai. We're a SaaS company, software as a service company. The name is a bit particular, but it's easy to remember if you know what it means. XYZ comes from location. It's basically the 3 dimensions that you need to pinpoint someone or a vehicle on Earth. T is time, and time is extremely important. We all know that the morning commute is different compared to the evening commute. So it's very important to take time into account. And AI, of course, is all about artificial intelligence, and we will talk about that in a bit. We built a platform. It's a software analytics platform. It looks like this. You see it's very map-centric, which is important in traffic and mobility. What you see here is a density map of traffic. You see also at the bottom of the screen, you see a trend line. So we also always show what is happening over time. You also see on the top right side, you see a layer panel. So it's multi-layered, multiple data sources can be connected to. And also it has a lot of statistical analytical capabilities. For instance, looking at cumulative trends, cumulative distributions, and so on and so forth. But I'll give a demo later on as well. We like to say that xyzt.ai is a visual analytics platform, and the reason is that humans are visual. Most of the neurons in our brain, they're connected to the visual system. And so visualization is extremely important, but it is still an analytical platform. It's meant for big data, which we see a lot in traffic and mobility. And it's really meant to support analysts, traffic engineers, traffic analysts, to really extract insights as easily and efficiently as possible. So that's really our mission with bringing this software to market. That being said, Abdullah, can you introduce THTC as well?
Yeah, thank you, Bart. THTC is a traffic high technology consultant. We are leading technology firm specializing in digital maps, smart mobility, GIS solutions, and smart cities and AI. Committed to supporting region's vision for smart city development. We have more than 26 years of experience. We have 2 offices in Saudi Arabia and Dubai. We are ISO certified, and we have a lot of government, private clients, and official GCC partner with TomTom in GCC countries. THTC services, we have 3 main lines. The geospatial technologies, we have our own maps in GCC, and we have mobile mapping and even mobile mapping or traditional mapping. We have smart mobility solutions, real-time traffic analysis, historical traffic analysis, origin destination analysis, and navigation apps and mobile apps. And we have the smart cities and AI line, which is the AI within the mobility that I will talk about later on. Can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah. There is a lot of customized solutions based on TomTom data. that we have created. Mainly, I mean, the first one is a traffic monitoring dashboard during Hajj season. We created a dashboard that the government can monitor the traffic during Hajj season. And we have THTC Moya, which is Mobility AI Agent. Basically, it reads from the historical database that we have, and it's analyzed immediately regarding traffic. For example, I ask about top 10 congested roads in Riyadh this month, and it will show a table and charts, and it will compare. I mean, I can ask to compare with previous months or previous year. Also, we did a dashboard for monitoring and managing the movement of the teams and VIPs and the referees during World Cup 2022 with FIFA, and they come again for the dashboard during Asian Cup 2023 with more features. And we have our Saudi and Abu Dhabi historical traffic dashboard, more than 90 roads that can be monitored, and during different peak hours of the day to see the performance of the roads historically. We can go back until 2018 to compare these roads in both Riyadh and Abu Dhabi. And we have the low speed segment dashboard in Riyadh, which shows the low speed parts in the city. We have added the layer of signalized intersections to differentiate between if it's congested before because of the intersection, or because there is a slow speed here. And the last is traffic monitoring dashboard during the National Day activities. In Saudi Arabia, during the National Day, a lot of people go out and celebrate the National Day. So there is a lot of delays in that specific day. So with some government authority in Eastern Province of Saudi Arabia, we created this solution. We install and integrate their cameras within the system, so they can, if they see some congestion in some points, they can open the camera immediately. This data is based on TomTom traffic data. TomTom has 6 products that can be used as a ready-made solution or as a customized solution. It's categorized into 2 types: historical traffic data and live traffic data. Which are historical traffic data. We have traffic stats, which is to see the speed, travel times in roads or areas. Audio analysis to see the movement of the trips between zone to zone or link to link. And we have the area analytics, which provides the traffic KPIs, time to travel 10 kilometer, congestion level and speed. And we have the live traffic data, which is the real-time traffic information, route monitoring, and junction analytics. Real-time traffic data, it is a map showing the congestion by color codes. Route monitoring show real-time travel times and delays. And junction analytics monitoring the junctions, turning ratios, the delay, the queue length.
Okay. Thank
Yes,
you,
and
Abdullah. Thank you. And that
you're
brings us
welcome.
to our first poll question. So we talked a lot about the data already. So the first poll question is, what data sources do you use or plan to use in your projects? You can answer multiple options. The first one is traffic counting data, people flow data, such as, for instance, from telco operators, floating vehicle data, TomTom, like Abdullah explained, but also there are other providers like Inrix here and so on. Or maybe public transit data, for instance, GTFS data or any other data. So you can check multiple boxes, and I see answers are coming in. So I'll wait a few more seconds for the results. Okay, and here we are. Do you see the results?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of traffic counting data and floating vehicle data. So it's quite representative, those four first data sources compared to any other. But it's good to see also floating vehicle data is a topic of interest. And that brings me to xyzt.ai. So what you see here is a few demos of xyzt.ai. The first one is with real-time traffic data from TomTom. So you see the real-time speed now visualized as a color mapping on the road network. And with xyzt.ai, you can not only visualize that data, but you can also start analyzing and visualizing certain filters. So for instance, here I apply a simple speed filter, so to look at congested areas. So immediately I can see which road segments are seeing congestion. And in this case, it's real-time data, but we also take the last hour of data so that we see some trends evolving during that hour. What you can also do, you can do all types of analytics like trend analytics. I talked about the distributions of speeds and so on. In this example, I'm doing a route analytics. So basically, I'm creating a route by placing a couple waypoints on the road network. Our system computes a route between those points. You can add the route to a drawing layer. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm giving that a name. And you see the drawing layer in the top right. It was invisible, so I put it to visible now, and there's a few routes already in the system. And then when after creating those routes, you can do all types of analysis. For instance, you can look at how does the speed progress along the route. And you see here it's quite okay. It's not dramatic. Most sections see free flow speed. There's a little bit of slower traffic, but it's not highly congested at this time. So just one example of a type of analysis that you can do in the platform. The platform is not tied to a specific data source. In this case, I'm opening another TomTom data source, but this time it's not real-time data, but it's the historical traffic stats data. So in this case, you don't only get information for the last minute or the last hour, but you can work with larger, longer periods. In this case, we're analyzing traffic over 3 days of time, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday. And then you can go in and look at average travel time, 85 percentile speed, and so on and so forth. The platform also allows you to do before-after studies. In this case, I'm just simply putting a filter on the first day and the last day on the left and the right. So you see there's not much of a difference. But you can bring in multiple data sources, maybe from last year and then maybe after infrastructure work and then compare. You can also build dashboards like you see. And because we have historical data here, the route analysis can also be two-dimensional in the sense that we can analyze how speed changes not only along the route, but also during the day. Just to finish up this example, let me give you one example with another data source. This is with INRIX floating vehicle data, also one of our partners. And there, for instance, here you see the impact of major traffic roadworks on the traffic flow. So you see a before and after report on a dashboard. So with this short introduction of xyzt.ai, what are the main benefits of the platform for implementing it in the GCC region? Well, first of all, we allow you to bring your own data, whether it's commercial data like TomTom, Inrix here, whatever, or whether it's your own data. Maybe you collected some data from sensors, from traffic counters, you can do that. It's multi-source. You can even combine data on the map, multiple layers, and you can have analytics between those different data sources. It's both real-time and historical, as I mentioned, and it allows for really deep analysis by a traffic engineer, by a traffic specialist, but it also allows these specialists to build dashboards, to build reports, and really share them with any stakeholder that you have. So with that demonstration, I would like to make the jump to another benefit, and that is, of course, the revolution that we've all been seeing over the past years. It's AI. And Abdullah, you showed a really nice example of the AI agent
Yeah.
um, on the traffic database. I want to give a few examples how we leverage AI or how we integrate with AI as well. And this is really something I will be showing on some data, but you can do it on your own data. You can do it on any data source that you would put in the platform. So this example shows how you can interact with the platform just by asking questions. So for instance, in this case, we're looking at this traffic congestion due to roadworks here on the highway system. And the user is asking questions like, can you show me all traffic driving through a certain exit on the A45, ending in the city center? And then afterwards, maybe asking, okay, getting back out of the city center, back on the highway. So this is like traffic that is through traffic that you don't want. You don't want people to drive through a local city to avoid a closed highway. So this is one way how we leverage AI in the platform. It's called just ask xyzt.ai, and people can just use it in their own language and ask questions. The second way that xyzt.ai plays a role in AI is by integrating with agents. And the example here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an AI agent. You see it on the right. It's a Claude agent. It's a thinking large language model. So basically, I can ask questions using xyzt.ai. What can you tell me about a specific project in my account? In this case, the project is named Traffic Study Riyadh. It's going to query our platform and it's going to tell me, okay, this is a project, this is a time zone, this is a type of data, this is a time range. So it really helps me in understanding what I'm working with. Next question I ask is, what can you tell me about the data in this project? So maybe someone else created a project, a colleague, and then you can ask the AI agent to explain. In this case, it queries, it says it's TomTom data, there's median speed, 85 percentile speed, there are road network attributes, the temporal coverage, it's 3 days, and so on and so forth. So what I'm doing now is I'm interacting both with xyzt.ai. In this case, I'm drawing some areas on the map, looking at King Fahad Road, both directions, south and north. And now, after doing that, I'm going to ask the AI agent, okay, can you analyze what is going on in those sections? So I tell the AI agent, I have two study areas, King Fahad Road South and North. Can you do an hourly speed trend analysis for these areas? It's going to think, it's going to query those areas, see are they really available? Can I use them? The agent says, okay, I found both study areas. And now it's doing a query trend. So basically, it's doing a query on the platform, on the XYZT platform, for those areas, asking for the speed over time, basically by hour of day. That's what it's doing here. It's summarizing this textually. I, of course, like visualizations more than just plain text, so I'm going to ask for a plot. Yes, create me a plot. It's going to do some thinking, some code generation, and it's going to create me an interactive plot. And it's going to display that in a second here on the right side. So you see for both directions, the red one is south, going south, the blue one is going north. So you see quite different traffic patterns. But also the AI agent already told me it's a very normal traffic pattern when you have commute traffic, one direction in the morning, the other direction in the evening. I also asked him to do a continuous trend analysis, not just by hour of day, but really over time. So for the 3 days, and it's creating me another plot like that. You can do all these analyses in the XYZT platform like I'm doing here on the left. You can just apply a filter, you get the plot on the bottom, you can download it as an Excel file or a CSV file. But using an agent, it's really fluent and efficient to interact. So here you see the continuous plot over the 3 days. What I did now, just quickly, and I cut the movie a little bit, I created a screenshot of the study area. And I'm now asking the AI agent to create a final report of this study. And I'm asking to mention what is the topic of the study, what is the area, what are the tools and the data used, what methodology was used, what are the key findings, and maybe some recommendations. So you can see it goes much broader than just putting those images in a PDF. I also ask him to embed fonts because I know if he doesn't, I don't have the Arabic fonts installed on my system, so it won't open. It's now gonna do a lot of AI generation, so I sped up the movie a little bit, and I think I cut it even at some point. So let's wait a few seconds, and here we have the final PDF. So it gives you everything combined. It explains the data used, it explains the key findings, it shows you the plots. And you can also ask this as a Word document. You don't have to do it as a PDF. It will also give you it as a Word document, so you can further edit. And of course, keep in mind, this is a large language AI model. They hallucinate, but they are getting better and better. But be sure to review what you did, and you can always go back to the XYZT platform to see what is going on or what was done. You can even ask the AI agent to show you the query that it did on the XYZT platform to fully understand what it's analyzing. So having shown that, some of the glimpses of what is possible with AI, let's go to the second poll question. What capability would benefit your projects most? Is it the multi-source data integration? Is it the interactive visual analytics? Is it the dashboarding, the reporting, or is it the whole AI-assisted traffic analytics? You can answer multiple options, or you can answer other if it's something different in your projects. I'll wait a few seconds for all the results coming in. Okay, and here we go. So we see it's a bit all over the different options. I see dashboarding and reporting seems quite important, and that's something, Abdullah, I think you also mentioned. We
Yes.
were preparing for this webinar that it's an extremely important topic in the region. Um, so happy about that. So yeah, that's why we do the webinar today to bring our technology and the local expertise of THTC together. And that brings us to the final part of the presentation, how we can basically work together in the region. And Abdullah, I think you will take this part.
Yeah. Thank you, Bart. We'll talk about how THTC and XYZT enable smarter mobility. First of all, combines THTC's expertise in smart traffic analysis in the region. THTC knows the challenges, knows the context of the region, and what is the on-ground challenges. So that will help to enable smarter mobility. Second one leverages XYZT's global experience in AI and data analytics, and I think Bart, this is a good moment to comment how XYZT can bring the global experience in the
Yes.
region.
Yes, thank you, Abdullah. Yeah, so when we started XYZT, we really wanted to be a software platform that was used throughout the globe. So from the first day, we had customers, not from the first day, but from the initial customers, they were all international. So ranging from the US over Europe to the Middle East, Australia, because it's a SaaS platform, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later. So we have a lot of experience catering to the road authorities in Germany, but also in the US and so on. So it's a platform that's meant to be used globally. On the other hand, we know that the local problems and the local challenges, they're all quite different throughout the area, and that's why we have to work together with Abdullah and his colleagues. And
Yes,
data-driven is extremely important, Abdullah, increasingly
yes,
more over the years, I think.
sure. We always need good data that enables the decision making and help the decision making process. So yeah, the
Okay.
traffic planning data is. and it also it will support smarter mobility solutions that fulfill the regional needs. As we mentioned in the challenges, there is a lot of challenges that need some solutions that support these challenges, which are the infrastructure mega projects ahead. So this partnership will try to help the region. And of course, it improves the efficiency, safety, and sustainability of transportation systems.
Okay. Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you for that. And one of
Or
the things that I didn't mention, but we announced it together a couple months ago at Intermobility in Riyadh. We also announced our on-premise version, and this ties into another benefit. The XYZT platform is not just a cloud platform anymore. We can really deliver the software packages to install it on your own infrastructure. And this means that there are basically roughly two options, like fully managed SaaS in our cloud that we manage. And one example is, for instance, the German road authorities are using us like that. Second option is what we call the on-prem solution, and that you can install on your own cloud or your own infrastructure, your own servers, if you should you have them. And this is really also where this collaboration becomes important. To give you an example, we are doing this together with another partner, CICE, in Spain. For the Spanish road authorities, they have their own cloud and their own infrastructure, so we deploy XYZT there. But I know from talks with Abdullah and his colleagues, it's extremely important that the software and the data can run on the local hardware, the local deployments. So that's something we also cater to. This brings me almost to the questions section. So before that, I would like to thank you again for joining our webinar together. Our question to you, both from THTC and XYZT, is: are you looking for any help? Can we support you in your challenges, in your projects? And then different options. Maybe you're looking for data, maybe you're looking for a platform, maybe you're looking for both, or maybe something different, some other implementation or integration in the region. Let us know so we can reach out to you. If not, but you like to be updated on the progress that we have together, let us know as well. So I'll leave the poll. Okay, thank you all for answering. Thank you, Abdullah, for joining me.
you're
I'd like to summarize with the key takeaways before we take the questions. As you explained, the mobility and traffic situation in the GCC area it's urgent, it's complex, it's very dynamic. So that's on the one hand a challenge, but it's also, of course, for companies like us and like you, an opportunity. We really believe that AI is a game changer in the industry, and we're only just getting started. So we really think we can make a big impact, but we do need the local expertise of THTC in the region. And with xyzt.ai together with THTC, we showed that we can really differentiate. We really like to put emphasis on the fact that if with xyzt.ai, you can go to an operational use very quickly. We have users going operationally from day one when they sign up. Of course, if there's integration with multiple data sources or multiple systems, it might take a few weeks or months. But really, XYZT is built to be deployed very, very quickly. So with that being said, I think it's time for some Q&A. We're a little bit late, but I hope you have some time to hang on. So I'm gonna open the Q&A box. And there's a question. First one is: how do you use and analyze origin destination for people flow? I think it might be a question to both of us. So maybe Abdullah, do you have
yes,
experience with people flow?
yeah. If you mean people flow, like the trips, We use our data provider from our partner TomTom. They provide origin destination analysis, link based or area based. But if you meaning pedestrian flow, not yet, but hopefully in the coming few months there will be hopefully pedestrian analysis.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can maybe answer from the XYZT part. We have basically two ways that the platform deals with origin destination data. On the one hand, we support working from the raw original movement data. So imagine you have trips or traces of how people move from collecting them somehow, and we can compute ODs dynamically on that data. Or the platform also allows you to work with pre-computed OD. So basically, like from the TomTom export, you can open that in xyzt.ai and use it in your analysis. Whether the data comes from vehicles like floating car data or comes from telco providers for the XYZT platform, it doesn't matter. So I hope that answered the OD question. Second question is, I'm a postdoc in Africa. My question is, how can our research group collaborate with you to improve our research qualities in traffic data collection and analysis for our master's and PhD students? Maybe I can answer that first, and then maybe Abdullah, if you want to answer as well. At XYZT, we like to work together with universities. We actually have projects running with universities in Africa. Not in traffic and mobility yet, but we do have some running, for instance, around air quality, which is, of course, also impacted by traffic and mobility. So send me a short email, Paul, after the webinar, and we can get in touch. Abdullah, I don't know. Do you
Yes,
have
just a short, yeah. Usually we at THTC, we work with the university, we work with two students. We have presented our solution, our lectures to more than 5 universities in KSA. So please feel free to reach out and send me email that we will see from there how can we collaborate.
Okay. And then I have a third question in the chat box this time. Let me read it for a second. Okay. Okay, that's not really a question, it was a comment. And then the other one is a question. Actually, have you integrated Google traffic as well within XYZT platform? That's a great question. There's probably a dual answer to that. So on the one hand, Google provides maps that show traffic. Like, for instance, the maps that you saw in the platform demos. Those are from Mapbox, which also provides traffic data. So far, we haven't integrated Google Maps, but we actually could. So if there's a real need for it, we could extend the platform to do that. Secondly, if you would have access to the actual data, then of course you can connect the data to the platform, and that has been done in many cases in different projects. So if you have actual data downloaded from Google, you can push that to the platform. But it's an interesting question to maybe also support the map layers from Google. Maybe another question. We have some time still. So one question for you, Abdullah. How's the
Yeah.
coverage for the TomTom data? Is it covering the entire GCC region, or is it specific to Dubai, Saudi Arabia?
I believe it covers most of Middle East countries, especially in GCC, where our core business is, and of course worldwide.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for that. Should you have any other questions for Abdullah or for me, please, you see the emails here on the slide. Don't hesitate to reach out. Also, if you would like to see some demos or go into a discussion of your projects, If it's in the GCC region, reach out to Abdullah and his colleagues. For platform questions, of course, you can directly reach out to us. So with that, I would like to first thank Abdullah for joining and for preparing. I think we learned a lot. I at least learned a lot from the
Thank you.
local challenges. Thank you. And also thank you all for joining the webinar. If you want to show it to your colleagues or the webinar is recorded and you will be sent an email with the link. With that, thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.